off when you're not using it, you can still do the same thing. You're no longer going to measure animals. You're also, this is a chart I assume when you measured animals or something like that, you don't need that any longer either. We're now going to give you a suggested technique that you'll set here, and it'll be based on the weight, the species, and the view that you're choosing. So you won't have to do any kind of calculations or anything there. There's a receptor sits underneath here. If you look underneath here, you see there's a blue light there. That no? It's blinking blue light, yeah. That stays there all the time. It never comes out of there. If it were to come out and get dropped, it's about $40,000. It's a very expensive piece of equipment.
How is it in there?
It's put in with rails on each side to hold it, and it's Velcroed in.
In addition, move that in and out? That
no.
never gets moved.
In addition, the cord that comes across here, I have zip tied. It's pretty tight, so you wouldn't be able. No one would be able to get it out unless they clip the zip ties and pull the panel off the Velcro. So it's in there pretty good. You don't need to worry about bumping it or moving it and having it fall out. That's not going to happen. Okay. The foot pedal store works exactly the same as it did. I didn't touch that or change anything there. If you look over here, there's a black power box.
Dr. Pepin, you can come in and...
And if you notice, there are 2 green lights on it. That means that the receptor and the box are turned on. All you need to do at the end of the day when you're getting ready to go is hit this black power button, turn it off. You've turned off the box, and if you notice, there's no longer a blue light underneath there.
Does that have to be turned on every morning?
Yes.
Or can we wait until we want to use it?
You can wait till you want to use it or turn it on every
Does
morning.
it
Makes
take
no
time
difference.
to
There's no
warm up?
warm-up period once it's on. Once that blue light's on and you do things here, it's ready. When you turn it on, turn the black power button on. If you notice, there are not 2 green lights right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's only 1. So there's a silver button right here in the middle. That blue light's not on yet, is it? Okay, that's what I'm showing you. So there's only 1 green light here. If you look over here, there's a silver button. You have to press it and hold it. And now there's a blue light down there.
Where's that silver button?
Right here.
Okay.
So I'll
Right
press
there.
it, yeah. So when you, okay, so
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
So if you ever get a message, and I'll show you in a second, that says receptor not present, means you don't have 2 green lights. So you have to hit the silver button. Okay? So at night when you turn it off, you just hit the black button. In the morning when you come on, you hit the black button and the silver button for about a second, and it turns on the green light. Okay? This you can leave on or turn off at however you choose. I know you guys have some power issues right here. This is the power off button.
You're right, mine.
So if I hit this button, it'll turn the screen off. This is the power on button right here. Once you hit this button, it takes about 3 or 4 minutes for it to boot up. There is no username or authorization of any kind needed. It'll boot right to the home page right here. And it does take a few minutes. Once this is booted up and this is on, you can enter information and take x-rays. There's no waiting period or anything like that. Okay? Think of this button here as like a home button on an iPhone. It's going to show up in a couple different places, and it's always going to be one of 3 colors. It's going to be blue, green, or red. If it's blue or green, you can touch that button, and it'll bring you right back to here. And it'll save automatically anything from the screen that you were in. So if you're in a screen, what I call the acquisition screen, and you're ready to take x-rays, and you've entered patient information, and you're going to do a chest series, if you hit this button and back out, it saves that information for you. Okay? If it's green, anytime something is green in our software, whether you've made it green or it's turned green on its own, green is an active color for us. So that means the system is ready to do something. In this case, if this button is green, the system is ready to take an x-ray. All you have to do is step on the pedal at that point. All right? Remember, you can touch it if it's blue or green, it'll bring you back to here. If it's that red or burnt orange color, you just took an x-ray and it's processing an image, so don't touch it. After it finishes being that color, it's going to either go to blue or green again. You don't have to worry about that, okay? This globe is a button that would take you to a sign-in page so you can sign.
Oh, the globe on the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would take you to, by the way, this moves this way. It won't tip forward or not unless you use the Allen wrench to loosen or tighten it, okay? This would take you to a sign-in page so you could get to what we call the view cloud. This is where when you're finished with studies, you're going to be sending them to what we call a view cloud. It's a cloud-based archival program that all your images are going to be stored there. And remember that if the doctors want to view images anywhere other than here, they need to be on the cloud.
Okay.
So if they want to use the two computers out there, is that a lab? You call that the lab, in the lab? Or if they want to view images on their phone, or if they're at home and they want to view images, or when they're on vacation and they need to view images, the images need to be on the cloud. And I'll go over how to do all of that for you, okay? So you can get to the sign-in page for the cloud here. I don't know anybody who really uses that feature here because you already have the images here. So you can look at them here, okay? The question mark. A couple things under the question mark. The top green button there says Help File. That's a manual for how to use this system. There is also a manual loaded on the desktop in the lab. It says Quattro Manual. Everything that we're going to go over today, why don't we flip, if we turn off the light, can you still video okay? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Okay. Everything that we're going to go over today are on pages 18 through 21. So if you hit that help file, it will open up the manual. The next button down says Open Support Session. Technically, you shouldn't have to use this button because yesterday I called our support team and had to put the system on what we call unattended access. So via the internet, they're on the system 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So if you call them, and I gave Julie the phone number yesterday. Right there, okay, perfect. You can call them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It never costs anything to call. It's all included in your program. You're calling Colorado. You're not calling China or India. So they'll understand what you say, and you'll understand what they're saying. And again, they're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Doesn't matter when you call. Never costs. And know this, 90% of the phone calls they get are training related. I forgot how to burn a CD. I forgot how to, I want to send images to Antec. Or I forgot how to, I placed a digital marker. How do I get rid of it? So, and as we get into the system, I'll go over the two most common phone calls we get in support so you know what they are. Okay? So that's that. The wrench, there's no need to use. Those are all administrative settings in there. If you're the curious type and you want to get in there and look at it, you can. Do not change anything in there. Support will never ask you to change anything in there because if something needs to be adjusted in there, they can do it remotely. Okay? Okay, moving up. Export history gives you a history of what you've done with that study. As I'll explain in a little bit, any study that's in this to-do list will have no history because you haven't done anything with it. You haven't sent it anywhere yet. You may have taken images, but you haven't sent it anywhere. You haven't sent it to Antec. You haven't sent it to the cloud because it's in to-do. All right? Once a study is then performed, and I have a test study over here, I'll hit this export. So see, now we have a history. This will tell you when you ended the study and where did you send it. Basically, that's all that does. Okay? This spooler here, when the system connects to the internet, in other words, when you're ending, closing, or sending a study to the cloud, and to me, all three of those things are the same thing. You can't do one without doing the other. So if I say end,
Which button was that?
I'm
it's the
sorry.
spooler. This is not the, this